Yeah. Look at who's back from the dead. Oh, I am in just all my satanic glory as my brother from another evil mother is back with us, and I could not be happier. Welcome back, Brother Hoof Beast. It's going to be a great week. And what we have for you tonight is, man, we are talking about some seriously prolific black metal albums that occurred in the amazing rise of the decade of the 90s. And let's preface that with, there's so many. And we're only breaking it down to 10. What's up, Cody, Mousebong, Rebecca? Got to get everybody else woken up at the same time. Let's get it shared out. Share it anywhere and everywhere there is a black metal lover, because they need to chime in as well. We want to hear some of your guys' picks. We do have some honorable mentions, as we usually do. But tell us how you're feeling, brother.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I feel a lot better. The poor people that I live with received all kinds of death metal performances via me with my bucket or me and the porcelain throne. Yeah. All I can say is, guys, stay fucking hydrated. Don't allow yourself to eventually get a fucking bladder infection, because you fucking vomit and vomit and vomit. It's fucking horrible. But thanks everybody for the support. I wanted to be there, but man, I've been sick. 5 days of vomiting. Oh no, I'm not drinking tonight.
No.
I'm on antibiotics, strong ones too.
No, as he just said there, Brother Babylon, he he had a real bad bout with a bladder infection. So, I mean, you just never know when that shit's going to happen. If you don't treat yourself right some of the time, you won't be able to taste that sweet nectar. Hey, what's up, Kyler? What's going on, brother? And Lizzie said, we're here. We had to make Sundays. That just, I mean, is it an unholy Sunday? I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just kind of skip doing a commercial for the evening. Actually, I ran it yesterday. So again, thanks everybody for who's been showing up at the early shows, because believe me, this guy is not used to doing early shows. And I thank y'all so much for supporting Morgrot Entertainment Network and Tracks of the Damned and all the shows, as well as Reapers Underground, of course. And if you haven't gotten a chance to check out the progressive metal band Anoxide from the UK, go back and watch that interview. So I'm going to go ahead and let you kick us off, brother. This is, man, this is a fun list.
I want to give a little bit of a preface here. Yeah, we're going to hit some of the big ones, but probably not all of the big ones.
Not all of them, no.
What I tried to do is hit the ones that I know are fucking amazing albums. So if you're not super familiar with black metal tonight, you're going to walk away with some amazing fucking albums. like really, really good ones that I have worn the fucking albums out, just listen to them over and over and over again. And I will almost always, hopefully, give you a name of one song to go to if you just want to try it out. So, but you're going to get a pretty good variety of black metal here. This is a super important time. This is where the tremolo picking came in. Yes. It was very easy to copy, so all kinds of bands started doing it right away. But it definitely is different than the tremolo picking that we were hearing out of death metal from like 88 to 91. These guys did it in a very much more high register. It was kind of a sin to in black metal, if you will, to detune. But there is one band that I know the Mouse Bong is going to bring up tonight that did down tune quite a bit, and they're fucking amazing. But they didn't make my list. So my first one I'm gonna start off with tonight is probably my favorite black metal album. I've already talked about it probably on 2 or 3 episodes for sure. And I'm talking about an album that came out on the 22nd of April of 1996. It is one of my favorite bands. It's a band that I want to go to Norway to see one day, or shit, I'll see them in Germany or Sweden, wherever they are. They've said in 2016, I think was their last tour. And he was kind of rumbling about maybe not touring America again. Maybe he felt like the numbers were down. He didn't really talk about it. Yeah, but I'm talking about Satyricons Nemesis Divina. So they also made an outstanding video to go along with this album. And the video goes along with the song Mother North. And it's really good. It has a naked lady in it. And they're kind of they're walking through the woods with torches, and they're in their corpse paint. The band is in their corpse paint, and they're walking to a seance. It's fucking awesome.
Yes.
But this is an album, I guarantee you, from front to back, you are getting, to me, black metal perfection throughout. Just
I have to agree with that.
Excellent. Nemesis Divina by Satyricon out of Norway.
One of the, like you said, definitely one of the, because I really love most of their work. I don't think there's such a thing as a bad record with them. But that particular record, I recall us talking about it before. It's powerful. So fucking powerful, so blasphemous, so wonderful. There's nothing I don't like about it. So I think that is an absolute great pick. Speaking of picks, Cody's already coming out of the gate swinging. Rotting Christ, 1993, Thy Mighty Contract. Nice.
Rotting Christ out of Greece, which that's pretty cool for 1993, actually producing an album when you're not in Norway where everybody was hanging out. But that hanging out, doing black metal after the Sign of the Black Mark came out from Bathory in I think it was 84 is when that came out. Those bands hung out and were kind of forming black metal. And actually, I think What's His Bucket from Mayhem is actually from Hungary, is it? I'll bet you Mousebong would know.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think he's from Hungary.
And she's absolutely right. No songs are skipped whatsoever. Kyler said, been trying to learn some new picking techniques, and the mute picking like 115 is difficult. So super fast. Dude, I don't know how you guys do it. I have held a pick in my hand. I've had a guitar on me, and my fat sausages can't do it. I tried. So my hat's off to you guys for sure on that. He says also, honestly, he wish he found this album sooner. I mean, it's so fucking good. Oh my goodness.
They still have it on vinyl offered on Spotify. So they'll give you a link if you want to grab this album on vinyl. They only have the black left, I think, right now. But
hell yeah.
you still get an amazing album on vinyl.
Yes.
They re-released it in 2016. And after this album is when they did the Rebel Extravaganza. To me, that's not a bad album, but it pales in comparison. The more that I've thought about it over just in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mousebong. I know that they're Greek. What was I wondering though?
You were wondering if the one guy was from Belgium.
Attila from Mayhem is what I was wondering. I think he's from Hungary.
Gotcha. And as we all know, some of our most favorite staple bands can come out with a killer record and suck the big wang on the follow-up, which is unfortunate. I'm going to have to listen to that one again just to, I don't know, either inflict pain on myself or just get a little bit more familiar with it. She says, yes, Attila is Hungarian. So good call. Aaron says, I will always respect a band that still puts out vinyls. Dude, vinyl ain't going nowhere. We just need to find a way to get it done faster and less expensive. Because trust me, if it was possible to get them out faster and cheaper, every single band in the world would be doing it.
Yeah, it makes me want to buy a vinyl factory.
Dude, what an investment.
Yeah.
Because literally bands from all over the world would come to you.
Yeah, like everybody's on backlog, and this backlog is not going to go away.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Okay, so of course I got to be the oddball. But this album for me in the 90s was very essential, not only to myself, but also catapulted a band from obscurity to everyone taking notice, and did something a little bit different because they started out earlier on very, very strictly, good old fucking school, black metal, but still had some keys going on and some stuff like that. So they are definitely more symphonic. But gradually they've become symphonic goth black metal. I hate the terms. I really do. Personally, I just think because of this record, especially, and with a sinister, wicked witch kind of sound coming out of Danny Filth, and picking one of the greatest tragedies in early history on Elizabeth Bathory. The album was the first concept record they ever did, and it is in fact Cradle of Filth, Cruelty in the Beast. And unfortunately, I forgot to grab the year. I'm pretty sure that this was 95 or 96, I want to say.
Yeah, it's one of those two. I would guess 96, but it's one of those two.
Yeah, I definitely think it was 96 too. Just amazing drum work. So clean, so flawless. The band super tight, and the keys really added more flavor, I think, to this record than it did overpower it. Because
we were both wrong, Reaper.
Oh, now damn it. We were 2 years off. Motherfucker. We're getting old. Okay. Where's my cane? No, I'm kidding. Not yet. But, May 5th of 98. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you on that. But damn it. There's even a lot of atmosphere I think, in this album as well compared to some of the other ones. The riffs are punishing, really great outros, breakdowns, lots of tempo changes, but still nothing tighter than Nicholas Barker's blast beat. I mean, the man was a machine. Tasty fills. Danny Filth at the top of his fucking game. I really kind of feel like they came into their own at that point. So if you haven't heard it yet, I highly recommend it. I mean, even if you're not a fan of Cradle of Filth, give it a shot. There's just something magical about that record.
Yeah, I would say either Dusk in Her Embrace is
yeah, it's a good one,
or Cruelty and the Beast. Yeah,
and
I like the way that they use the keyboards, especially on this album too.
Mm-hmm. It was like it was just right.
It's not overwhelming.
Babylon says, I bought my nephew Bathory, Blood, Fire, Death on vinyl yesterday. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool, Babylon.
That's cool as fuck. Nice. Oh, thank you, Mouse Bong. Dusk in Her Embrace was 96. Son of a bitch. It's not that he wasn't a bad drummer, but I don't think that, I mean, Nicholas Barker went on to play for some pretty heavy hitters all the way around. I don't know. His technique, his sound, his feel, just very, very machine-like. But nothing against the other guy, for sure.
All right, so for my second pick, we're gonna go to Austria. And this is a band that's really dynamic. The first album that they put out was called The Last Supper. These guys are probably the kings of blaspheme. All of their album covers totally push the envelope. So controversial. But what I really love about them is they are truly always mixing black metal and death metal.
Yeah.
To me, they're the quintessential blackened death metal band, or I would say deafened black metal band. Because I don't know, it's like seamless almost. Like I like the newer stuff that they've come out with. They just put out an album in 2022 called The Devils. It's amazing. But the album that I'm talking about is Belfegort's Blut Sabbath. There's somebody behind feeding this lady. She's leaning all the way back, if you want to look at that picture.
Oh, yeah, I totally do.
She has no shirt on, and there's blood everywhere. And yeah, they did stuff like this. Every fucking album is like this way. They're not just drawing up a picture of a demon with horns. It's humans performing ritual of some sort or suggesting some sort of ritual.
And she was wearing the fuck out of that studded belt too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kyler says hot. Kyler also says his second pick is Samael Passage. That's a good record.
Well, look at Kyler really getting into black metal. That's cool.
I think we're rubbing off on him.
Yeah, I've known Kyler now for over 2 years. We've been doing Tracks of the Dam for well over 2 years now. You were doing it with Eric before,
right?
But when I came in, we kind of changed it up quite a bit. Thanks, Lucy.
Just 130 on a scratcher. Get that money, girl. Shit. That's awesome. Oh, Cody coming out with a second big one too. Uh-oh. This is one I think you may have chosen.
We'll just save that for later.
Yep, we're gonna save that for later.
Yeah, so I probably, if for future reference, if anybody else throws one in there, that's one that I would ignore.
I'm sorry. I couldn't see it real close. I put it up there. I literally thought I was just proud that he had another pick. You know?
The song that I would recommend that really started to stand out for me is Behind the Black Moon. And that's the 4th track on the album. But this is an album that is one of their most heavily influenced with black metal. So
yes.
You don't hear the death metal near as much in Blut Sabbath as you do others. The Last Supper is a great album, but it definitely is probably like it's leaning 3/4, maybe a little bit more on the death metal side. This one I would say is 3/4 or more on the black metal side. But they have good tremolo picking. They do 2 different types of vocals. They do the death and the black metal vocals. They're pretty fucking nasty, but their lyric writing is unapologetic.
Yes.
So that is Belphegor and Blut Sabbath.
And should definitely be on anyone's essential list. Just an amazing fucking band all the way around.
Mm-hmm. This is another band that I am just dying to see. Them and Satyricon are.
That's almost like a dream. That's a dream show right there. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Fuck yeah. All right. I mean, literally this next pick is, I mean, they don't really need too much of an intro because this is definitely one of the cream of the crop as far as essential black metal albums. We're gonna go back. We're gonna take it back to 1992, and it was their second full length. They kind of let go of their death metal vibe somewhat, and just really became, just some of the best black metal at the time. I mean, it's very aggressive. Blast beat orama, I mean, shoot. The structures of their songs are not exactly, easy either. They did mess around with some time feels and things like that. So, I mean, I'm talking about Dark Throne, Ablaze in the Northern Sky. We've talked about it. We've talked about it a few times, I believe, in the past. And this album, I mean, still to this day is hailed as one of the top 40 as far as all-time most essential black metal albums. And I can't disagree. Now, I'm not sure where they placed, but they should be very, very close to the top. This is one band I would love to see live myself. I have not had the pleasure, and I definitely want to. Vocals are no short of very, very guttural, good mixture, good range. There isn't anything I don't love about it, except for the drum sound. I still feel like they could work on that. Other than that, it's a fantastic record.
Yeah, I think if this album makes it there, it's just because of its place in history and being kind of groundbreaking.
Very much so.
Thanks, Aaron, for the bong rep. I can still hit the bongs, although my windpipe, my air pipe is a bit kind of worn out.
It might be time to take a ride to Gummyville for a little bit.
Yeah, boy, I have had some rides on Gummyville. 250 million fucking Gummyville.
It might set you back, right, brother? Shit.
We had Mousebong offer, and Cody, I think, found it a little bit predictable, Mousebong.
A little bit.
But that's a good thing. It's a damn good band.
Absolutely. Excellent pick. And then Kyler said he actually had a first pick. I don't know how the hell we missed it. Tell us again what that was, brother. Most Def.
Let's see. Where
shit, Blue House Nord. Fuck.
Yeah.
Very, very tasty.
Yeah, so you said that you wanted to see Dark Throne. That is such a very, very rare occasion. Maybe
I know it.
every 5 or 10 years they'll play one of the big festivals. That's it.
Damn.
Yep, that's how bad it is.
Mm.
Yeah, they'll play like, I think they may have played Wacken a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was that one or what's the Blood one in France. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'd love to see him too.
Kyler says, I need an old pipe just for the good lettuce. Nice.
I gotta use bongs.
Duh. Y'all know me. It is essential in every way. But yeah, if you know you haven't really gotten down to Dark Throne or haven't listened to the record in a while, put it on. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's always good to go back to those essentials, and especially that one. I remember when I first got it, and I was just like, man, this is some fucking shit production. So you kind of almost have to have your ears kind of attuned to it so that you can kind of hear it, because you do get used to it. Because if I go listen to like Carcass's first 2 albums now, I can pick it out a lot better. You can kind of make sense of the noise quite a bit. I know Mousebong listens to a lot of like noise metal, so I'm sure she's able to do stuff like that really well.
I mean, all that early Mayhem stuff too. It was just very, very difficult shit. I can even take that back a bit, and Bathory was a little bad in my opinion as well. But you know, I mean, the quality might have been a little bit better, but still, I mean, it had that 80s sound, so it was like flat. But I go back and listen to it now, and I'm like, all right, I kind of see kind of the cool part about it. So I agree with you. I think our ears definitely get attuned to it.
All right. So my third pick will be Cody's second pick. Thank you, Cody. No, it's a great, great pick. And it is Dissection, and it is Storm of the Light's Bane. You can pick pretty much the album before this and the album after this. They're all really good, blasphemous albums. The song that I would choose, because it has some kind of unusual riffing and it sounds a little bit folky, is Where Dead Angels Lie. There's some odd riffing, like it's kind of, they'll be flowing and then it kind of stops and stutters a little bit, and then it gets back going, and then a little stutter, and it's a little unusual. Like they were experimenting with this. Storm of the Light's Bane is known for being like really, really melodic, aggressive, and a lot of people don't like just how clean it is. The vocals are not as harsh as they were in the previous effort, and I wish they were the more harsh. Now that I've been listening to black metal quite a bit, I prefer those who just fucking scream and let it all fucking out and don't hold back. And now that I've listened and I've been doing black metal vocals for a while, I really don't like, now I do like Inquisition's kind of croaking because it's different. It's a little bit more spoken, but I have a harder time. I have a little bit of a harder time with Immortal. So I did not choose Immortal tonight. And if you guys like that, that's perfectly fine. It's just my taste has kind of evolved over time.
Well, that puts me out. But I actually picked one that a lot of people apparently took, like it took them a while to get used to that particular record. And I mean, I might as well just use that for my next pick since we're on it right there. This album was a little tough for some people to get a hold of as far as like getting into it and enjoying it. It's at the house of, or no,
at the heart of winter.
There we go. The words are blurry. Damn it! I wish I would have picked a better JPEG for that. But yeah, the heart of winter, and it's because it's atmospheric. A lot of people didn't like that.
I
They
love
didn't.
it.
They wanted, I didn't see anything wrong with that record. That's why I specifically picked that one, because all the subreddits that I read, people were dogging the fuck out of that record. I was like, I kind of understood it. Like, there was a theme there, and that's what they were trying to create. Not everybody can take the the Froggy Frog, and I'm sorry. Every time I think of Immortal, I just remember him coming down that big hill in them big boots, and boop, 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 boop. You guys can catch that episode for the blooper reel that we did quite a while back. But yeah, man. Looks like somebody else picked another one. Okay, I will not put that up. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. But yeah, if you like a good atmospheric album, it still doesn't lack any of the intensity or the aggression. It's just, you got to let it grow on you. That's really all I can say. Yes, I agree. Aaron says the cover art is sick. I love it. I love some of those like fantasy style covers. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, in the diehard black metal community, this is the album where people started saying that Immortal was selling out. They changed their logo for this album.
Yep.
It is more atmospheric. It's not as biting, but it's really beautiful. It's an excellent album. Like, they can all fuck off.
That's how I feel. I was like, fuck y'all. I'm going to mention them just because you said it sucked. I mean, I don't know. I've always got love for Immortal. I always will. It's special. And they're different, and they're still fucking going. If they weren't any good, they wouldn't still be going. That's the way I look at it. Let's see. One thing Mousebong did say I thought was a good comment. Black metal and good production really didn't go hand in hand for a long time. Yep, and I think they kind of preferred it that way in some cases. Storm of the Lightbane and the Somber Lane is also good. Yeah, hopefully I said that right.
But on the on that topic about production, there's really bad production, and then there's really, really, really bad production.
Yes, like super bad. Yes.
Yeah, I like really bad. Like, that works really well. Like, I want it to be raw and have this kind of punk flavor, because a lot of black metal does come from the energy and the anger that's in punk, and the fucking drive, in some ways the simplicity.
Sure.
But Dissection's album was all like, Dissection was really trying to step away and say, hey, we are going to make things a little bit more complex. And a lot of the black metal, the purists, did not like that either, because they wanted it just to stay simple and stay raw. And Fenriz has spoke about this, and I totally get what he's saying. And I'm glad there are factions of black metal that do that. Like, that's a great idea. I love it. I want that sometimes. But I also want the other shit, because it's like having gum that has flavor that lasts a little bit longer, in a way. Or
there's
a more
nothing wrong with sprucing it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We probably should hit comments for a while, because there's a whole bunch of comments.
Oh, I know.
A bunch of albums that have been mentioned.
So proud of my boy Kyler here, whose birthday is in 2 days. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later too, because we got a surprise for him and all of you as well. But he picked Immortal Pure Holocaust. That was another one from the 90s.
Really? That's a good album.
Very good album.
And the vocals are better on that one. Like, they're more raw. And that's
sometimes
a more raw
that's all
production.
it takes. Yeah. Absolutely. Bonster comes back with the heavy hitter, Inquisition, into the infernal regions of the ancient cult. 98. Wicked fuzzy guitar tones, blah. And but enough clarity to elevate the riffs above the melee. Not sure what that means. I know what melee means when it comes to weapons. I'm just not sure how that applies. Very unique as usual for them. Yes, everything about them I think is very unique.
Yeah. So yeah, with Inquisition, like a lot of his vocals weren't like straight up black metal. Like they were almost kind of spoken and a little almost cheesy, but super, super, super unique. But yeah, so this is the band that was
flavor.
this is the band that was tuning to D because it's just the guitarist, vocalist, and the drummer. And so he needed a little bit more bass, so he tuned to D standard and still does to this day. But
No.
man, Inquisition, if you guys aren't familiar with Inquisition, to me are the kings of arpeggio picking.
Right.
Really beautiful and not super fast, powerful blast beats, but they do blast beats, but it's not super, super fast. And they're super tasty, very clever, very memorable, very kind of celestial too. Use of keyboards at times. I love Inquisition.
Not to mention, there's something really beautifully nostalgic about the art of the skank beat. It's not always double kicked. It's usually done with just the right foot, or if you're left-handed drummer, it's done with just the left. And they do it very, very well. Couldn't agree with Brother Aaron's comment. Mouse, you should write for a metal magazine. Now, wouldn't that be, I don't know, one of the best things to ever happen? Because how often do we talk about some of the reviews and things that are just so disingenuous, and half the time they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I think she would do a fucking phenomenal job. Big time. And I still got more comments on. Holy fuck. Damn it. Okay, I can't put that up there either. Very good. Let's see. Yep. Kyler also agrees. Definitely worth reading because we all
Mousebird's got a comment that you don't have to post up, but it piggybacks on her Inquisition. She says the way Dagon's able to craft riffs that are so emotionally intense yet sound so dark and evil never ceases to amaze me. I agree. This dude's a fucking genius. He's really, really good.
Melee as in a guitar fight between several people. I think that's what she means by G fight. Things can get muddy with a lot of 90s production. Yeah, for sure. I was just saying the guitar kind of rises above all of that. I totally get it now. Thank you. Because the first thing that, obviously fight came to my head, but I wasn't sure in what aspect. And that I couldn't agree with that more. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
All right. We ready?
Yeah.
Ready for a new one, or you want to hit some more comments? We good? We pretty much caught up?
We got them. We got them. There was one I had to leave out because that's coming up later. I forget who's next.
All right. So yeah, I think I'm next.
I think you are.
So we're gonna go to Portland, Oregon now. We're gonna talk about an American band, and when you listen to this album, you kind of like, if you listen to the first song that I suggest to you, you might be waiting a while until you're like, where's the black metal? This is like folk metal. That's really, really beautiful work.
It's a great way of putting that.
So gosh, it's any song on this album. I'm talking about Agalloch and Pale Folklore, which came out in 1999. I
love that cover.
They're from Portland, and so what you get with Agalloch, if you haven't listened to them before, if you want to, they really make you feel like it's fall and at times winter. They make you feel like you're in the woods quite a bit. It's great music to go to sleep to, like very kind of calming and soothing, even when the black metal vocals kick in and the guitars kick, the distorted guitars kick in. Uh, it's also a really good band to listen to while you're driving, especially if you were to take a drive through the mountains in the fall as the leaves are
Ooh.
falling. This would be
Oh,
the fucking perfect album for that. Or another Agalloch like Ashes of the Wake, or what's The Mantle. So good. But gosh, Hallways of Enchanted Ebony is, you can really pick any of them. You're going to have sometimes acoustic guitars opening up, or an acoustic guitar will open in the middle of the song, or jump in the middle. You're going to have clean tones quite a bit for the song. It's going to be like mid-tempo. They in this album, they don't really hit like super blast beats, and you're not going to hear like Norwegian black metal that's super intense. This is more kind of laid back, chill, kind of in the deep dark woods of our beautiful, beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Which funny you mentioned that, because I'm going to be filming in Seattle.
Wow, cool.
I just got picked up for a new series called Hallow Scream. So I definitely know where I'm staying when I'm up there. Oh my goodness. Oh, hey, Crystal jumped on. Look at you. Twice in one day. She says, hello, can't stay. Just wanted to see Beast alive and well. See you tomorrow afternoon. I need a rat.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And then she goes on to say, octopus, red, waving. Oh, okay. That's what she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you know what that is. Never heard of a rat named that, but damn, what a name. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, dear me. So this next band, a lot of people have great things to say about. Some people just downright don't like them. I don't know what it is about them that I like. I think it's Shagrath's voice, because I think it's so fucking daunting that, as evil as that motherfucker can sound, you can understand what he's saying. Which is something in the black metal world you don't always are able to do, depending upon production. Now, a lot of their albums, will I say they're overproduced? Yes, some of them, little too much. Sometimes there are so many layers, or the keys are so fucking high, it overshadows a lot of stuff. But the album that I picked for them, I definitely feel where the keys played an excellent role, and I didn't mind it at all. Oh, she already guessed it. Way to go, Bon. Yes, I am talking about Dimmu Borgir, Enthroned Darkness Triumphant. This was definitely a essential album in the realm of symphonic black metal, and I believe this was 98, either 98 or 99. I put it in at the very last second because Beast had picked one I already had, so I wanted to make sure I switched it out. But there's nothing short of awesomeness with this record. All the great, wonderful riffing that you would normally get with a Dimmu Borgir record. And this album kind of helped catapult them into international success, because that's when people in the States, I can remember I was fresh out of fucking college, and I picked up, it wasn't this one, it was, oh my goodness, it's such a long fucking title too. I can't remember it. I just remember the big upside down pentacle and their name, and there was like chains and stuff around it. But as soon as I heard that, I started going through their entire catalog, and of course I came across that record as well. Just super, super fucking good. Lot of blast beats, a lot of fills. Like I said, Shagrath, his voice he's definitely got that evil witch wicked thing going on, but he can deliver some very, very intense guttural vocals and some highs in there too. They're very theatrical. And I think that was one of the other things that kind of put people off of them. I don't mind it with them. I really kind of dug. It was kind of like Beast was saying earlier about kind of a punk rock attitude. It's like, yeah, they're dressed in leather whips and chains and all the other crazy outfits that they have on. But at the same token, those motherfuckers are like, yeah, we just don't give a fuck. And that's kind of their charm, in my opinion. Definitely a great, great album.
Yep. There seems like their only competitor for symphonic black metal is Cradle of Filth. And Cradle's kind of their own animal to me, very different.
They are. And that's funny because I would almost think, well, where does Godflesh Apocalypse come in then? Because
that's more brutal. I like them better.
They're more brutal. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know where they stood with you. We never really talked about them that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I may have to delve into some more of their stuff.
Yeah, they've got a new album that just came out too.
Ooh, then we need to do a review.
It came out like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That was not on my radar. Motherfucker.
Sounds really good too. It's fucking brutal.
Nice. Hell yeah. Mousebong said, I heard Shaggorath laughing. And Kyler says, Mousebong knows all and sees alls. She says, I got eyes everywhere. She goes, nah, I'm just old. Oh, get out of here. You can only say that when you're ready to take your last breath. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully much, much later rather than sooner.
So right. Of all of the albums I've given tonight, this is probably the most brutal and nasty.
Ooh.
It blasphemes so fucking well. It is sexy.
Oh yeah. So is their merch. I want my entire house.
Oh, I know.
If I could, I would.
So the album that I'm going to talk about is an album that they have just re-recorded 4 of the tracks. They didn't do the whole thing. They're releasing it as an EP, but they're releasing it on CD and on vinyl as well. And they've slowed things down quite a bit for the 4 songs. And it came out on July 24th. And I'm talking about Dark Funeral, and the album is In the Sign of the Horns. And what a cool album cover. You have the everlasting Dark Funeral logo.
Which is sick as fuck.
Yep. I have that on a hoodie that is in storage in Omaha that I hope to get very soon. It's starting to get chilly.
Must be reunited. Yes. And of course, beloved Baphomet in all of their glory. We'll say that.
Yep. There is no question about this band at all.
Nope, not at all. I love it.
Yeah, I agree, Mousebong. The Secrets of the Black Arts is always fucking amazing as well. It is so fucking good.
Yes.
Too. I liked this one a lot because the vocals, this is a different vocalist because it's in their earlier days. This was when did this? The 28th of January of 1996 is when this came out. To me, this album is a balance of not perfect production and just super raw, super aggressive, super nasty. It seems like since they hit like the 2000s, their albums, you could argue that maybe are a little bit more overproduced.
Yes.
And they've lost the raw sense that they did have. But yeah, this is a Dark Funeral in the Sign of the Horns, and this is my 5th pick. So I'll be doing honorable mentions from here out.
Absolutely. But before I get to my my 5th one here, Cody says, for my 4th, Beharit Drawing Down the Moon in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
It's a more raw, more simplistic album, not as seasoned as some of the others, but Beharit's definitely a band to go check out for everybody. Oh, Talk. Mousebong's got Talk. That's a great one. I don't know if I want to try to pronounce that.
I know I won't, because I'll butcher it by just pure idiocy. Straight up, she says, straight up Norwegian black metal. No bullshit, no frills, no keys, no female vocals, just incredible melodic black metal. And that's fan-fucking-tastic. Very much like early Darkthrone, Satyricon, and Emperor as well. Absolutely. And I'm glad that she mentioned that one in particular, because my final pick is the debut album by one of the ones she mentioned, and I'm sure she probably already fucking knows. This album came out in 1994, and it's hailed again as one of the most influential records of all time. I mean, it just, the symphonic and atmospheric elements of this record just was a thing of glory. It makes you feel like, I don't know, you're just like Satan himself is coming up from the pit, if there was such a thing. But I mean, you could literally, it paints volumes of darkness, and I am talking about Emperor, and it is called In the Nightside Eclipse. Fucking amazing record. It's been so long since I got curled up next to it like a little child. But that was one of my favorite things going through the last few days, going back and revisiting this record. I love the orchestral feel through it. It's very good. It's just beautiful darkness. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, this is a great album. This is most black metal purists will claim this one before Nights at the Welkin,
which is so funny.
Yeah, they're both really good. The production on this one is not as good as the Welkin. The Welkin is it's more of a quiet album, and that Emperor's Nights at the Welkin is an album that I really, really wish that Ihsahn would go back into the studio and re-record everything just as it was, but with better production. I want to hear this one with better production.
Wouldn't that
make the vocals just as nasty? Go out of your way to make the vocals just as nasty or nastier.
We can always get nastier with it.
But
there's always room for that.
But that album is something else. It is remarkable, but it's you really have to listen to it because of the production. And I don't like that on that one because it's very complex.
But again, it still has, stood the test of time. And I think a lot of old school black metal listeners will probably still feel wonderful with it, because when they first heard it back in those days, it was kind of almost expected that all the black metal that was kind of coming out at the time, they didn't have a problem with it. But it's definitely a little bit better than, I would say it's definitely better than most. But it is. Go ahead.
I bought this album, Nightside Eclipse, Emperor's Nightside Eclipse, when I was taking 10th grade Saudi boys in 2015 on a field trip. And they were stopping at yet probably the fifth or sixth hot dog and ice cream stand of the day. And I saw a record store. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in London. I ran in there and I only had like 10 minutes because we were just grabbing the food and jumping on the bus. I didn't dare want to hold anybody up. And so I grabbed that CD and took off.
Hell yeah.
And enjoyed it that night.
Most deaf.
That Nightside Eclipse is an essential album, though. It's really, really good.
Definitely. Oh, looky here. Cody's got a final pick as well. He says his last is Samael Blood Ritual of 92. That's two Samuels tonight. That's awesome.
Yeah, Samael is Cody's really picking bands that are like doing their first or second albums. They're super, super raw shit. So it's kind of giving me some insight, although he did pick Dissection, Storm of the Night, Lightsbane as well.
I don't know, man. I think there's just something about it, the rawness of it. It's like listening to those horribly produced Misfits records. People still fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. I actually don't want to hear it any other way. So in some ways, some of these quintessential albums, that's just kind of the charm of it. I don't mind it so much. So solid picks, and yeah, definitely, man. Very impressed with you tonight, sir. You and Kyler both had some seriously good picks for yourselves tonight. Cody says, I have a 900-page book, on black metal. So I check out a lot of different things. Fuck yeah. Ooh. Kyler answers with Megatron. My last pick is Winterland. Welcome, my last chapter. All right. That's not one that gets kind of tossed around a lot. So that is really cool to know that, you dig that. I can't say I've heard that one, but I know the name. The name Winterland has always been synonymous in black metal. And now I'm definitely going to go check it out.
It'll come up like in your Spotify if you listen to a lot of black metal, it'll come through on that. Yeah, it's solid. It's really good.
I am so all over the fucking place on Spotify because of bands that I'm bringing on, Reaper's Underground. It tends to kind of screw things up, as it were. So, yeah.
So you want to do some honorable mentions now?
Yeah, go right ahead, man.
I think the most obvious is Mayhem's De Mysteriis. That album has Frozen Moon on it. It has like 4 amazing songs. Frozen Moon is the one that I would listen to first off of that one. That's an essential. We didn't bring that up. Enslave's Frost album, to me, that's an essential. And The Priest of Satan is also another really good one. So The Priest of Satan is going to fall in line with all of these kind of 90s, 91, like early Dark Throne, kind of like Bathory, early Mayhem. It's going to sound a little bit more like that, kind of punk driven and influenced, but very important album. Yes. And another one that I would say is Marduk, Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered. This is an album that's really fucking good. It bites so fucking hard. It came out in 1996. And, but to me, Marduk chose some of the cheesiest album cover art for this. It looks like something like the cover for Lord of the Rings or something like orcs about to go to battle.
Yeah.
And so when I think about, like, I can't really relate to that as Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered. Like, I want to see something a little more human-like, not orc-like.
I mean, Europeans, when it comes to artwork, and this is not a slight by any means, but they tend to like the fantasy style looking stuff. So many different art covers. I've seen the art come out that way. And, that's okay. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, it would be kind of cooler to see it be, especially for Marduk. We want to see it as nasty as we can get it. The one that I was going to mention by them was Dark Endless, 1992.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned that. I don't know if it was Cody or, yeah.
That's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. That's one where I like on that album, because I think that came out in 92. They were already really introducing, hey, they were.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Early on, Marduk was introducing the more heavy kind of tremolo picking on that album. Terrible production on that album. And like, I wish they'd bring several different aspects improved. And that's it is an album that most people will say are essential though. But I don't think they'd totally hit their stride there yet.
No.
But it was early on with it. They were definitely in the pack with everybody so early on, with Immortal, with Satyricon, Dark Throne, and Mayhem. They were right in there with them.
Absolutely. Again, I think that's a very nostalgic thing. That's probably why a lot of people do pick that record. Shoot, I'm trying to think if there was anyone else I had that I didn't mention. No, I did that one. No, I think I hit them all. Guys, there are so many essential albums that came out of that decade. Unholy fuck. It was definitely, the decade of Satan's delight. One of the most interesting things that I saw, and I know a lot of people will say no, and I'm not sure who put the list. Well, I do know that it was one of the magazines. I just can't remember which one at the moment, but I was thumbed through it earlier. People have put Merciful Fates, A Dangerous Meeting. No, it wasn't. No, what the hell's the name of that one? Dangerous Meeting was the first song on the album. Shit. Don't Break the Oath. Got it. Have labeled that as an essential black metal album.
I think it's fucking bullshit. It's like the word hole, as in a hole in the ground or a hole in your ass, and having the whole of the goods, all of the goods. Like, they both sound like the word hole, but they are totally different things. So that's something now I'm going to start going off on fuckers who say that shit, because it sounds nothing like black metal. It is in writing, yes. And in maybe the stage, the looks on the stage, yes. But the music, abso-fucking-lutely not. So that's going to be my answer from now on.
I knew it. That's why I saved it for last. Because I knew we would get a very good, honest answer. And to a very good degree, I agree with you. I mean, sure, he was, in fact, the first to ever don the Corpse Paint, and is on every single one of the great black metal bands that we know and love. He is cited as a huge influence. So to say it's a black metal album, I'm going to tell you straight, I think they picked 3 songs. 3 songs off that record because they were fast and had a ton of different time changes. The one I'll definitely say is Satan's Fall, which is their 12-minute opus that goes in 50 million directions. Now, does it have any of the essential black metal components, such as the tremolo picking, the blast beating, and of course, the vocals, hands down? No, it doesn't. The only thing that I give credence to is that I know he influenced a lot of those bands. Definitely. But to put it on a list of, let's say, top 40 most essential, I think that's why they threw his name in the hat. But at the end of the day, we all know that it's just an influence. It's not actual black metal.
Yeah, and I would say nothing guitar or drum oriented is an influence to second wave black metal. Nothing.
No, not at all.
But Merciful Fate and King Diamond's stage, the way it was set up, so fucking dark, candles, definitely, absolutely.
Oh, and he was the first one to be an open outward Satanist at the same time. So I think that also gave a lot of those bands in the early days, I'm saying at the beginning of it all, I think coming out of the 80s, they kind of really, I don't know, latched onto it, because let's think about it. Merciful Fate toured all over Europe. He was a household name before Merciful Fate was even thought of in our country. You know what I mean? Now this is really interesting. Mousebong says they also say the eye.
It's more progressive.
It is. Oh my goodness. Yes. No, this is not old school black metal. They're on fucking crack. Have they been hitting the pipe a little too hard with the rock? You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking way. I don't even know why anyone would even dare to say that. And I am a big purveyor of the king, and so is fucking Hoofbeast. But in the realm of black metal, guys, an influence, yes, but the music itself is not. There are some elements of some of those songs, which I mentioned, as well as Come to the Sabbath. But, if he influenced anything, it would almost be a little bit of maybe black and roll, possibly, but definitely not in the guitar. They never shredded like that. They were mostly just straight chugga. It was fast in some parts. Kim Russ did play some halftime grooves in there. He even threw in some double kick when you could actually hear it, which was evident on that record. Now, had they kept going, they could have gotten heavier. I don't know. That's just not the way it went down, because Hanky the Panky Sherman turned into a fucking cock rock guy and fucked it all up. So we'll never know. I will go to my grave cursing that man.
Mr. Nanners, I too like Scorpions. If you're talking about the Blackout album, that's a really good album. Quiet Riot, Metal Health, so fucking good. And Iron Maiden, almost anything until you hit Bring Your Daughter to the Fucking Slaughter and No Prayer for the Dying. Fuck.
Oh man, we disgraced those albums. And rightfully so. Come on, Iron Maiden. You took away Steve Harris's fucking balls. How dare you? You got lazy with your riffage. Not as bad as, Bruce Dickinson's first, solo song, All the Young Dudes. Did you ever think you'd catch him singing that?
Good God.
Fuck. I was so.
He knew the ladies were falling for him every fucking night and he wanted more money.
Really? I thought he was a really odd looking guy.
I know. Girls are still crazy about him. I mean, the way he wore his tight gold spandex up on the stage with that big O Eddie buckle, like his fucking package was huge.
But those are great bands, man. Just because you came in kind of at the end here, we were talking about we picked 10 albums that we felt were very essential to the black metal movement in the 90s. But it's always good to hear what a lot of you guys like to listen to. I don't know. Have we ever done like a complete episode on the 80s? Like all encompassing? I don't think we've ever done that.
Oh, that would be kind of cool just to talk about what it was like growing up in the 80s. Now, I don't know, like the early 80s, you probably didn't have near as much, but
not as much.
I remember that stuff. I remember the feel because this shit was just coming out.
And it was a storm brewing.
I remember right where I was the first time I saw Number of the Beast in 1983, sitting up in the record store, and oh my gosh, there's the devil.
Yup. I mean, it took a couple of years. I want to say by 1982, that's when shit started to hit the fan.
That would be a good thing to do. Is we'll just talk about what it was like in the 80s. Fucking Mouse Bong is so funny. She's adding to Bruce Dickens my comments about Bruce Dickinson's package.
Yep, I totally agree with that 1,000%. I always think of the Spinal Tap airport scene with the cucumber. And let's face it, they were doing a lot of stupid shit like that in those days. Don't even think it. I mean, sure, comedic value and all, but the fact that, some guys were legit doing that because they had managers saying, hey, you want to grab the ladies, you got to, look like you got something kind of deal. I mean, but then there's Lemmy. Never had to do it. Wore them tight fucking pants with his big old fucking cowboy boots and didn't give two fucks. I could only imagine if a manager was to say to him, you want to remove those moles from your face? He'd tell him to go fuck yourself, and ladies still loved him. So that's one of the things I never understood about the whole spandex movement. But yeah, I think that would be a blast. We've never really done that.
Yeah.
So, hey, great idea. Just got born. Thank you, Mr. Nanners. Gotta love it. Cody says, oh, shit. You know what? Before I get to that, Kyler said we should do the worst 90s albums.
That's a good one, too.
That's a damn good one. You can ask Beast. I've been wanting to do a worst something for a while because I feel like I haven't been able to get my aggression out in a very productive way, I might add. Cody says, side note, there is a bar venue record shop in Nashville called Vinyl Tap. Oh, I love it.
I'm jealous that I didn't think of that.
You must take me there one of these times when I'm in Tennessee. We should probably check that out. I think that would be really cool. Oh, you guys have been so good. Oh, my goodness. Excellent picks from everybody. Totally appreciate y'all showing up for my brother Hoofbeast. It felt a little empty last week, but we still had fun. We totally did. And I appreciate you guys for that. And let's face it, he wasn't having any fun.
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
There was no fun had. I mean, I'm sure he was like looking at the Jim Beam bottle going, I wish.
Oh, no, I was just like, I was fucking miserable. I was in battle.
Yes.
I was in battle for 4 fucking hours. No let up at all, not even for 1 fucking minute.
Yeah, honestly. And that was daily, if I remember correctly.
For 5 fucking days.
5
Fucking
That's something I would only, wish upon my biggest enemies.
Yes.
Gods.
Yeah, it'll get me if I have to cast on somebody's ass. Oh my gosh, I know just what to cast on them. Fuck.
Although I kind of take the South Park way, which would be let's make it come from both ends at the same time.
Fuck, it was awful.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it was fucking awful.
It was both?
The first night, yep, it was fucking awful. TMI. Yes.
Oh, no. I'm just feeling bad about that. Son of
It was awful.
bitch.
It was my worst experience ever.
And it's finally behind you.
Yes.
That's the most important.
Yep.
thing.
Reaper helped me some through it. Mousebong
much
helped
as I
me
could.
through it. Yep, I had several people helping me through it. And boy, you need somebody like when you're pretty much by yourself. You need somebody.
I mean,
Somebody
you gotta have a support group through something like that because that's agony.
Yep, just somebody to text you and check on you. That's pretty much all they can do.
But then again, we do know a few, fun little rituals that we can help with, with the right amount of energy, behind it. So definitely glad that you are out of the woods. And thank you guys for 2 fucking amazing days here on the Morgrot Entertainment Network. You guys have been awesome. It really is a testament to how much you guys love these shows and you love what we do. So keep in mind, in just 2 days, Kyler is about to have his 25th birthday, and his one big wish was that we would do the goddamn program on the night of his birthday, and that is this Thursday. Brother Hoofbeast, hopefully that you can be there in a capacity of any kind. That would be fucking awesome. But we will definitely have a show Thursday night. So to help him celebrate and be amongst his dysfunctional family, his satanic family. I mean, that's definitely something we can do. So think about these albums. If you haven't put them on in a while, please do. You might go back and find that, it's like kind of like Mousebong was saying earlier, some of these albums have such great memories attached to them. And that's one of the wonderful things that music does for us. And if you haven't heard some of them, shit, if we inspired you to listen to it, then we have officially done our job. You know what I mean? So I totally appreciate you guys. Have an excellent fucking night. Enjoy in the indulgence of life. And of course, as you're going into hump day, get to humping and stay heavy.